Hey guys, we hope that you are considering now either sending your student to camp, or we hope that you're a student considering going to camp. And let's be honest, it can be intimidating. You might not know anybody. Maybe you're a parent and you're like, my baby is going away overnight, first time for a couple days, I'm nervous. Let's say you're a student, you're like, I don't know anybody, I'm climbing onto a bus, I'm going somewhere. So we just want to take some time and explain to you first what camp is, what you can expect when you go to camp. And then second, answer some frequently asked questions that we get as youth leaders about what camp is. So first, let's talk about this. Rachel, what can someone expect at camp? What's a day-to-day schedule? What are the elements of camp?
Yeah, so every morning we will wake the students up. Barrett will go around to the boys. I get to go around to the girls. We get to wake them up, sing happy morning to them, get them all ready for breakfast, and then we all eat all of our meals together. So we'll all head to the dining hall, we'll eat breakfast together.
And the food is surprisingly good.
It is
like
actually
shockingly
delicious.
good.
Yeah, very good. And then we will all head together to our morning devotion. And so we have our guest speaker, and he will give a Devo for the students. There's a time of worship as well. And then we send the students off to have time alone with God. So this is a chance for them to get alone, read their Bibles, pray, have some time of just them and the Lord. And then we'll head to the dining hall for lunch, and we all eat together. And then after lunch, we do afternoon activities. So we all get together in the gym and we go over what we're gonna do. Some of the elements that we have done before have been water slip and slides. Again, a big snowball fight. We've done dodgeball.
Toilet paper dodgeball.
Yes, so fun.
We've done our color war. We've done all kinds of things.
Yeah.
And you're gonna get to have an experience that you probably could only have at our camps.
Yeah. And then after our afternoon activities, we let the students go off for some free time where they get to hang out with their friends. And if they want to go on the giant swing 10 times, they can. If they want to go on the zip line or the ropes course or canoes and kayaks or go play dodgeball or basketball, they are welcome to do that.
You can take it more chill and play Uno in your cabin with your counselor and your friends. You can literally just color. Some people will get coloring books out and color during free time. It can really be what you want it to be.
Yeah.
And the whole way through, you have a counselor with you.
Yes.
Keep finishing the schedule and then we'll talk about that.
And so after free time, we all get together for dinner. And then after dinner, we will head to the theater for our evening session. So this is an extended period of worship and teaching. And then all the students get to go back to their cabins with their counselor. And this is a really sweet time. We call it cabin groups, where they just get to talk about what the Lord is doing. And so whether it's what they read during their talk time or whether they what they learned during the morning session or the evening session, counselors get to ask the students what's going on, what the Lord is showing them, and it's a really sweet time for the students. And then afterwards, we will all meet together and we will do a fun evening activity all together. It's awesome.
It's a party.
Yeah.
We have carnivals, we have skit shows, we will do nighttime like jailbreak games. We have a lot of fun and kids look forward to that part.
Yeah.
And then usually we'll just go back to our cabins and lights out by like is it 11 or 11:30?
11:30.
11:30. And we do our best to answer some other frequently asked questions we get. One is like, what kind of adult supervision do we have? We bring a lot of volunteers. Over 100 volunteers come to camp. So we have 2 leaders in every cabin. So you're not gonna have more than 10 or 12 boys in a cabin, or girls, depending on which one. I'm usually with the boy cabins. And then you're gonna have 2 leaders in each cabin for accountability for the leaders and for the students. And so that's an intentionality we want, and those leaders are dedicated to those 10 or 12 students for the rest of camp. They're gonna be making sure they're eating, they're gonna be making sure they're going to where they need to go. We have nurses that come to camp, make sure medication gets handed out, make sure any scrapes or boo-boos or like anything about like, I gotta call home because I'm homesick, anything like that. We have registered nurses that are on site to handle that. We have security to make sure people are safe and that are trained EMT as well. We make sure we have an amazing kitchen team that prepare all the meals. Everybody there has been background checked. That's a question I get from the camp staff to our volunteers. No one goes to camp as a leader unless they have a certified background check with us. I'm trying to think too for parents. We have a clear packing list that we'll attach and you can look at about what to pack. But if your kid forgets a pillowcase, we'll make sure they get one. If your kid forgets a pillow, we'll make sure we don't let your kid go the rest of camp without a pillow. Those are the kind of things that we want to work on. And then kids can call home at any point, but that leads us to cell phones. Rachel?
Very bad news. I get the wonderful job of sharing the cell phone policy.
I had to do it all.
It's okay. And so our policy for cell phones is that we do not allow cell phones for the students. And so we've come to realize that when a student has their cell phone, one, it's a huge distraction from what the Lord is doing at camp. We also want students to interact with others in their cabin and to make friends with all of those at the camp. All of our counselors, all of our volunteers do have a cell phone. So if there is an emergency, we will absolutely be able to contact the parents. And again, if a student is homesick, they are welcome to go to the nurse, to Barrett or myself, and call home at any time. If they need to call home in the morning and in the evening, they are welcome to do that.
And we also have a camp phone number that we're going to put here on the screen if you really want it, or we can add in later. But the idea being, we want you to have access to call the kids too. We're not trying to sever communication. We're trying to sever a connection with the world and worldly influences. But your kid can call home at any time, and we want them to have that availability. And you should be able to reach us at any time, hence why we have a camp phone. So that's kind of our policy there. We have various camp rules explaining what we expect of the students when they're there, about respecting others, about bullying, about private property, about safety things, about staying on campus, things like that. And we go through all those rules meticulously one by one with the students when they first arrive at camp. And I believe in middle school you can meet friends at camp where you go there not knowing anyone, but if you can reach out in that courage, you parents as well having the courage to send your kid and entrust them to us, we value that you trust us with that. And if you can do that, I think we can create an environment for the Lord to do something awesome in their life and for them to make some great memories. So I hope you go to the camp.